Thank you very much for joining us this evening for our Parent University session. This session is entitled Strategies for Working with Our Students in Terms of Their Homework. We are very fortunate this evening to have Master Teacher Robin Murray, who's also a part of the Aspiring Leaders Program through the REAP grant. My name is Kyron Harvell. I am Director of the STAR grant. STAR stands for School Transformation Accelerates Results. Again, we appreciate you guys joining us. Please feel free to place any questions in the Q&A box. You may also insert comments to the chat feature. I will monitor both and we will respond to questions and answers upon conclusion of the presentation. At this time, I will turn it over to Mrs. Murray. Again, thank you guys for being here.
Hi, good evening. And again, I am so glad to be a part of the Parent University on such a wonderful topic that I really believe that the strategies that we can put into place will make your child very successful. So again, my name is Robin Murray, and I am glad to be a part of this. Organization. Make a space for your student. Create a specialized corner of a room dedicated for homework. I need you to stay informed. Talk with your child's teacher. Make sure you know the purpose of the homework and what the child's class agreements are. Watch your child for signs of frustration. Have your child take short breaks if you notice he or she is having trouble staying focused. Help your child figure out what is challenging and request an office hour appointment to discuss strategies with the teacher to support. And please reward progress in homework. Homework procedures. Create a visual schedule for younger students, K through 6. Middle and high school students can use a calendar, planner, or digital organizer. Break assignments into small pieces. Come up with a list of must-dos and may-dos. And if students are sharing a device with their siblings, make sure children understand who gets to do what and when on the device. Follow teacher directions about how to submit assignments. Tips for students on organizing your materials. Parents, keep all of their materials in one study spot. Paper, pencils, calculators, etc. And always have some adult help your child stay organized daily. Make a special time daily to do your homework and keep to that schedule. Routine is so important. Time management tips for our students. They need to be ready when they sit down to study. Have all of their materials in their study spot. Have them do the hardest assignment first and save the easiest for last for them. And if a child gets sleepy or can't concentrate, encourage them to get up, take a break, move around, or perhaps even have a snack. Time management continued. Study using techniques that match the learning style. Study for a few nights before a test. Review what you've learned in the morning before going up to your virtual platform. And if you are absent, especially with us being in a virtual platform setting, one day you want to catch up right away. Don't get behind. Contact your instructor immediately. Organizational tools, a planner, a binder, folders, color code them so that they can clearly identify what each is. The notebooks, especially still, color code them with their books. File tabs, a pencil case for the little ones. And it's very important to encourage ownership and effort with their study skills. I want to talk a little bit about learning styles. A visual learner, we obviously know, learns by seeing. Auditory, they learn by hearing. Kinesthetic learns by moving and doing. Everyone learns differently, so it's very important to find out the way that's most helpful to you. A visual learner. If your child is a visual learner, highlight or underline main ideas, encourage them to do that. Make an outline or a map of main ideas. To study for a test, do something that you can see, lists, drawings, copying words, anything that's going to be a visual support. Use index cards to make flashcards. Separate into know and don't know piles. Play memory games. Use a computer or draw on a whiteboard as you study. Use assignment books to write down assignments daily. And never watch TV while you're studying if you're a visual learner. Auditory learners. Read aloud instead of silently. Tape record items to study and play the information back. Recite along with the tape. Use music to help you learn. Put information to a tune you know or make up a song or a poem. Have another person quiz you and review information out loud. And study in a quiet place with no distractions. Our kinesthetic learners. Use objects like coins, beans, blocks to help you understand your math. Trace spelling or vocabulary words in sand or salt. Use magnetic letters to spell words out on the fridge. Use maps, globes, puzzles to study history and geography. Teach the information you must learn to someone else using a whiteboard to write or draw the information. Have someone talk through the information with you while you're doing something active. Shoot baskets, jump rope, walk around. Take breaks often during study time. Have an adult help you develop a system to stay organized. And our study environment should be comfortable, but not too relaxing. The place. Choose a place where you're able to write neatly and stay alert. Study in the same place every day. The light, even though that seems odd, but it's very important. Use good overhead lighting that is not too dim, but not so bright that you must squint. Sound. Find a quiet place where you're not interrupted by others, the radio, TV, or any other noises for that matter. And temperature. Find a comfortable spot where you're not too hot or too cold. You don't want to fall asleep and you want to stay focused and comfortable. So again, where is your study spot at home? Does it meet the criteria above? Learning strategies. Categorize information by grouping information into smaller or similar ideas. Use sequencing skills to put information in a time order. Find the main idea in a paragraph you are reading. Find details to support main idea. Highlight main ideas and outline or map out information read. Use context clues to find the meaning of a new word. Use a dictionary, a thesaurus, if context clues don't help you. Use illustrations and charts in the textbook to help you understand information read. Test-taking strategies. I want you to read directions carefully. Taking objective tests, matching, true or false, completion, multiple choice, taking essay tests, note-taking strategies, mind mapping, brainstorm, outline, and really listen. Your listening skills have got to be on point. Look for those verbal cues, presentation cues, and then have some memorization techniques that are helpful for you. And parents, as I stated, you can help with these study skills. Help your child manage time to complete assignments. Discuss the steps needed for longer assignments. Help them get started on those big assignments. Give practice tests at home. Help avoid last-minute cramming. Have your child review nightly. Talk with your child about how to take a test. Read instructions carefully. Keep track of your time. And do the easy ones first. Don't spend too much time on one question because you'll lose your time and you might run out. And again, parents, I'm going to continue with the help of study skills. Talk about the assignments. Do they understand what to do? Do they need help in understanding the assignment? Do they have everything needed for the assignment? Does the answer make sense? And again, please watch for frustration. Give constructive criticism to your students and praise and encourage. It's very important. Our homework, our methodology for success, and they need to know the purpose of homework. Review and practice what was taught. You're preparing for the next day's class. You're learning to use resources such as a library, websites, references, supplementary texts. You're exploring subjects more fully than class time permits. You're applying skills learned to new situations. You're integrating different skills learned into a single task, projects, book reports. You are going to be able to use all of your multiple intelligence when you apply those skills. And you want to teach your student to work independently. Encourage self-discipline and responsibility. Create an understanding between you, the family, and your teacher. Provide opportunities for increased communication. And I want to really talk about the amounts of homework. It really truly depends on the age and the skill set of the child. My recommendation is 10 minutes per grade level. So for K through second, I believe 10 to 20 minutes a night is sufficient. Third through sixth, it runs about 30 to 60 minutes. At seventh and up, more time is going to, it will vary. Depending on what the subject content is, it might vary in the time amount. And our homework tips for parents. One, and I'm repeating the same thing, but I want you to establish a routine with your student. Help your child choose a homework location for completing homework. Guide them to always put completed assignments in the same spot for you to review. Create a homework survival kit. And when you have that kit completed, keep all of those supplies in the study spot. And that survival kit, pencils, pens, writing paper, colored pencils. And if any of these items that you don't have, please contact your building. We are more than glad to supply you with these needed supplies. We have no problem with presenting them to you, dropping them off, or you can come to the building and pick them up. Schedule daily homework times and the same time each night if all possible. Be sure all activities stop at this time dedicated for homework. Allow your child to let you know when homework is too frustrating. Be sure they're not just trying to avoid doing the work. Encourage your child to do homework independently. This will teach him or he or she how to develop independent skills, such as how to follow directions, begin and complete a task, manage time. Monitor that homework is being done. Only give help if your child has shown a real effort to do the work first. Motivate your child with praise. Each night, praise your child about some specific accomplishment. Focus on a goal they have set. Use a long-range planner with your child to help them successfully complete longer projects. Teach them how to break the assignment down and distribute it over the period of time given for the project. Have your child take necessary breaks. Study 20 minutes and then let them take a 5-minute break. Limit homework time to the amount that the teacher has stated. And never give a child more than a few answers on any assignment. If they still don't understand, you write that teacher and let them know that they're having difficulty. Please never do the homework for your child. Talk with the teacher if a child struggles with homework. Arrange for tutoring if needed. A pandemic tutoring service provided by MSU students, the link is here for you. Right now, today, I know that they're really focusing in on ELA and math, and they're looking for students to help support. Step back if you yourself are losing your temper or patience. Don't let your frustration make your child feel that they did something wrong for not understanding the material. And in summary, show that you think education and homework are important because that's going to inspire your child. Monitor their assignments. Provide guidance and talk with the teachers to resolve any issues. Contact the teacher as soon as you suspect a problem or you don't quite understand the directions. Request a meeting with the teacher to discuss concerns. Explain what you think is going on. Let the teacher know if your child finds assignments too hard or too easy. Work out a way to solve or lessen the problem. And keep communication open and clear at all times. And follow up to make sure that the plan that you set into place is working. You talking with teachers to resolve problems. Please let your teacher know when you have concerns. When the child refuses to do the homework, instructions are unclear, you can't help the child get organized to finish the assignment. You're not able to provide the needed supplies or materials. You're not quite for sure of the purpose of the assignment. And if assignments are too hard or too easy. If homework is assigned in uneven amounts, for example, none one night, too much another, please really report that to your teacher and find some alternatives. If your child has missed school and has assignments to make up, please contact that instructor immediately. Now I want to talk about the asynchronous time that our district is launching. Reading books is a wonderful way for students to continue on their daily regimen routine. Create science experiments. Ebersol Online Resources is a wonderful site that the students that are really engaged in science projects or love animals or want to know more about nature, I would recommend you really reaching out. Connect with kids. That is an amazing program that has so many different activities that will support your child's social emotional learning, as well as being able to build their vocabulary. Just little simple things that they can do and have fun. These are wonderful sites to go to. And with math, maybe having related topics they're enjoying, such as cooking and baking. Form small parental and student groups to address content. There is safety in numbers, truly. Distance learning and homework can be challenging, I know. However, as long as we implement strategies to support the whole child, success can be attained. And if you are in need of any support, please reach out to your child's buildings. We're there. We're here to answer and try to address any of the needs that you have. And at this time, if there are any comments or questions, I would love to address.
Thank you very much, Ms. Murray, for the excellent presentation. We appreciate this. I think one of the main things that kind of stood out to me was you continue to mention the importance of reaching out to the child's teacher. Can you talk a little bit more about that and why you think some parents may not feel like child, or what are your thoughts about why more parents aren't reaching out?
Well, I think that because we're on this virtual platform, it's all new to all of us. Office hours, and then we also have to consider our parents have jobs. Some of them are not able to connect with their teachers during those set times. This is why I definitely feel like that it's very important to drop notes into the Google Classroom. There are links available. Email, the old-fashioned way of emailing, phone numbers, calling the buildings, and the secretaries are really important tools. They will connect you to your teacher or they will relay messages. I think that we need to really have a little bit more engaged conversation, perhaps maybe even building parental groups around the different classes and then talking to each other and then having more than just one question, maybe having several that the teacher could really reflect and address.
What are some other strategies or tips you have as it relates to the asynchronous day? So considering we're starting our A day tomorrow, what strategy do you have for parents in terms of helping kids to stay caught up on work, et cetera, during asynchronous day?
I think that, in my opinion, I would really try to stay with the routine that they have during their synchronous days. So if the time is 9 o'clock that they're on or 8:45 that they go on, that you provide activities so that they stay in that rotation. That's super important. I also do believe that the Connect with Kids and Eversaw, reaching out to different virtual platforms that can provide them with educational opportunities, but fun, is going to also be valuable. Our students really need to look at education as entertaining, interesting, and I think that we have so many systems with the Lansing School District in place that we can supplement that. I also would recommend during this asynchronous time, if your child is struggling with a subject area, reach out to Michigan State. Reach out to those tutors, because this might be a perfect time during the asynchronous that the college students can connect with your student during that time and maybe provide the one-on-one instruction, and that might boost your child's confidence as well as help them really understand their content.
What strategies do you have for families who may have multiple children at home? I remember on the slide, you mentioned the importance of having a space set aside. How can parents, address that issue? They have multiple children at home and maybe space is a little limited.
If you have multiple children at home, then I would definitely recommend spaces in plural, because I think it's very important for each child to feel like that their little personalized space is theirs. Now, there's times when we aren't able to do that, then you're going to have to really express the importance of sharing space, and still that there's an ownership and an area that belongs to the individual. And I think that the siblings would support each other in that. I also did speak about devices. There are some students that are sharing devices. I think it is very important that the parent lets the teacher know that, so that they can be aware that, yes, we are sharing this device and this is the way that we are moving forward with trying to attack the virtual instruction and our lessons. So I think that the communication is going to be key, having the personalized space for each individual, really praising the student, but the routine. And as I said in my slides, I tried to repeat over and over, it is so important to have a set time for homework. And I know that life happens. We're in an unprecedented time right now, so definitely things can happen in a matter of moments. However, if you can establish a solid routine and the students know that at 6 o'clock on the dot, all things are shut down because mom and dad have designated that as our homework time. And then it can also help parents that do have multiple children or have had a long day at work. That gives them time to kind of regroup and get prepared to be able to review the homework after it has been completed. I think that it's very important that we look at the parent perspective right about now too, because our parents are being thrusted into not only being the breadwinner, but they're now the educator in the household. And I think that whatever we can do to support our parents during this time, we need to be there. So communication, not being afraid to say, I don't know something, because again, we changed the terminology of practices that we've done 25, 30 years ago. It may have been taught one way to my generation, maybe a little bit different to the younger generation. So it's very important to understand the goals and objectives of each assignment. And then that way you can have some kind of a framework and be able to draw from prior knowledge to be able to be supportive to your student. But again, it's communication, making sure that if you are in need of any clarifying answers, please reach out to us, because this is what we're here for. And as part of the Inspire Leaders program, I'm constantly trying to connect with parents in buildings that I've never been at. And the conversations have been amazing. And I've talked to quite a few parents that have said, thank you, I didn't know about Eversaw. Thank you, I had no idea about Connect for Kids. And so again, dialogue, reaching out, if you're unclear, and this is a time where we all need to just come together and be humble. If you don't know something, don't pretend. Because if I don't know something, I'm reaching out. Because again, this is a new way of instruction for us all.
I appreciate your emphasis in one of the slides where you said for parents to make education a priority. Could you speak more to that in terms of how that motivates the kids when their parents make education as a priority?
Yes. When our children see that mom and dad are excited about the perfect attendance or no lying, I've been trying, that those students become so excited and you've just lifted them in ways that the instructor can't. when they know that mom and dad knows that they're going to be paying attention to what they're doing, they're going to move in different ways. Even if we don't know exactly how the assignment should work, we need to go in with the mindset of, okay, we're going to get this assignment. What have you been doing? And again, positive, lifting, constructive criticism, and really monitoring your frustration and your patience. If you, again, walk away if it seems like it is getting overwhelming to you. I think that we've talked so much about the social emotional learning of our students that I think that we need to still be looking at our parents for that social emotional learning of the
Good point.
that they need to really know that we're here for them as well as their children.
Great point.
And when the student sees that mom and dad are not playing with me, oh, they're going to be checking and balancing that homework. Or was I on Google? Did I do that exit ticket? Parents can motivate our students in directions that we can't.
Definitely. Last question. One of the earlier slides, the importance of rewarding children. And often when we think of rewards, we think of financial. Could you speak a little more towards other types of rewards that are financial that parents could do for their children, to provide for the children?
When I speak of reward, in other words, putting that special assignment on the refrigerator, maybe taking a screenshot and sending it off to family and friends. My daughter did this. This was so amazing. I don't think that we necessarily have to give gifts or money. I think that reward comes through that positive uplifting of that, yes, I see that you tried your very best and I am proud of you and we're going to get better and better and I'm going to brag about you to the mountaintop. So that's what I meant about the reward, and just really letting that child know that, yes, I see that you tried and thank you for what you've done.
Thank you very much, Ms. Murray. We definitely appreciate this phenomenal presentation. Thank you to the parents that joined us. Such an important topic, especially now during this digital age with us all being online, but know that support is here. As Ms. Murray mentioned, your teachers are available, your administrators, please feel free to reach out. It's a tough time for all of us. Please, all parents, do not feel as if there's something wrong with you not knowing. I have goddaughters and the work they're doing now, I have done this work in 30 years. So they show me. I have to get on Google myself, and I'm a former principal and check to find out what the answers are and things like that. So don't feel like you're incompetent because you don't know. We're all learning together. The work is new. The kids have different ways of doing the work. So feel free to reach out for that support. And again, I would like to thank everyone for taking part in our Perry University session this evening. Thank you, Mrs. Murray, for your time and this overview. Please join us tomorrow evening for presentation through Perry University on restorative justice practices. Also, we will have an A-Day, asynchronous learning day presentation provided by our 4th through 6th grade teachers tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We'll have a presentation on Friday for our K-8 principals and families at 5 p.m. And on Monday, we will have another A-Day presentation provided by Executive Director of Special Populations, Mr. Sergio Keck, for our Spanish-speaking families. Mrs. Murray, any final words before we close out that you have for our families?
I just want to say thank you so very much for supporting the Lansing School District Initiative with virtual platform instruction. We are here for you. Thank you for this opportunity to share some of the things that I've learned over the years of instruction, and have a wonderful evening. And again, you can reach me, robin.murray@lansingschools.net. If there's anything that I can help you with, please reach out. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Again, please join us for our 2 Perry University sessions tomorrow. Everyone have a good evening.
Good night.